Have you ever just stopped and wondered how our planet actually works? We see the land, the water, the air, and we kind of think of them as separate things. But what if they're all just parts of one giant connected machine? Well, today we're going to break down the 4 fundamental domains that truly make Earth, well, Earth.
So, that brings us to the big question. What are the fundamental building blocks of our world? And the answer, you'll see, isn't just a list of stuff. It's really more like a blueprint for how everything, from the deepest part of the ocean to the very air we're breathing right now, is all woven together.
And here they are, the big 4. The lithosphere, the hydrosphere, the atmosphere, and the biosphere. Now, the key thing to remember is, don't think of these as 4 separate boxes. They're in this constant dance with each other, a super dynamic system where a change in one part can totally affect all the others. So let's dive into each one, and we're going to start from the ground up.
All right, first up, the lithosphere. This is literally the solid ground beneath our feet. It's the foundation of our entire world. But as we're about to find out, it's so much more than just a big rock.
A great way to think about the lithosphere is as the stage. It's the platform where pretty much every drama on Earth plays out. All of life, all our weather, all the water, it all happens right here, on this solid surface. It's ground zero for everything. So, what is it exactly? Well, it's the solid, rocky crust of our planet. But, and this is super important, it also includes those thin, precious layers of soil that are absolutely packed with nutrients. So see, it's not just dead rock, it's the very foundation that life grows from. And this stage, it kind of has 2 very different settings. First, you've got the continents. These are the huge land masses that we all live on. And then you have the massive ocean basins, these enormous bowls that hold all of our planet's water. And just to give you a sense of the incredible scale we're talking about here, check this out. Mount Everest soars to almost 9,000 meters above sea level. But then, the Mariana Trench plunges even deeper, over 11,000 meters below sea level. That's a total vertical difference of about 20 kilometers. Just, wow.
Okay, so we've looked at the solid stage. Now let's turn to the dynamic, powerful force that's constantly shaping it, water. Welcome to the hydrosphere.
So, if the lithosphere is the stage, then the hydrosphere is kind of like our planet's circulatory system. It's all the water on Earth, and it's always moving, always flowing. It carries nutrients, it regulates temperature, and it keeps life going. Honestly, it's just like the blood flowing through our own veins. And this stuff is literally everywhere. A mind-blowing 71% of our planet's surface is covered in water. It's really no wonder they call us the blue planet, right? But here's a fact that might actually surprise you. Of all that water, a massive 97% of it is salt water in the oceans. That leaves just a tiny 3% as freshwater. And get this, most of that is locked away frozen in glaciers and ice caps. So the big takeaway here is that the water we actually rely on to live is incredibly rare. The hydrosphere is also a master of disguise. I mean, it's in the huge oceans, sure, but it's also in the frozen ice sheets, it's hidden deep underground as groundwater, it's flowing in our lakes and rivers, and it's even floating above us as invisible vapor in the air. It's the one thread that connects all of Earth's systems. All right, we've covered the ground we walk on and the water we drink. Now it's time to look up to that invisible shield that protects every single one of us, the atmosphere. Think of the atmosphere as our planet's personal bodyguard. It's this amazing multi-layered shield that stands between us and the incredibly harsh environment of outer space. Seriously, without it, life as we know it just wouldn't be possible. No way. So what's this shield even made of? Well, it's a giant blanket of different gases, all held close to the Earth by gravity. If you've ever hiked up a tall mountain and felt a little out of breath, that's you actually experiencing the atmosphere getting thinner and less dense the higher you climb.
And what are we actually breathing in? You'd probably guess it's mostly oxygen, right? But oxygen only makes up about 21%. The real heavyweight here is nitrogen at a whopping 78%. It's essential for plants, and it also dilutes the oxygen, which is a good thing because otherwise our planet might just, burst into flames. That last 1% is a mix of other super important gases like carbon dioxide,
This atmospheric shield is a true multitasker. It gives us the oxygen we need to breathe and the gases plants need to grow. It acts like a greenhouse, trapping heat to keep our planet warm and cozy. And, crucially, it filters out the sun's most dangerous rays. I mean, to put it simply, without the atmosphere, we just wouldn't stand a chance. And it's not just one big blob of air either. The atmosphere is layered like an onion. We live down here in the troposphere. That's where all our weather happens. Above that is the stratosphere, which holds the vital ozone layer. Then you keep going up through the mesosphere, the thermosphere, where you see auroras, and finally, the exosphere, which is basically the last stop before you hit the vastness of space.
Okay, so we've got the stage, we've got the water, and we've got the air. But what about the actors in this play? Well, that brings us to our final, and maybe the most amazing domain of all, the biosphere. The web of life itself.
If the other three domains are the ingredients, then the biosphere is the master chef. It's the great connector. It's the domain of life that takes the land, the water, and the air and magically transforms them into the incredible diversity of every living thing we see around us.
So you see, the biosphere isn't really a separate place at all. It's a zone of interaction. It's that thin, vibrant layer where the land, water, and air all meet and overlap, creating the perfect conditions for everything to thrive, from the tiniest microbe in the soil to the biggest blue whale in the ocean. And this table really shows you just how connected everything is. Take a tree, for example. It sinks its roots into the lithosphere to get nutrients, it pulls water up from the hydrosphere to live, and it breathes in carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Or an animal. It uses the lithosphere for shelter, it drinks water from the hydrosphere, and it breathes oxygen from the atmosphere. Every single living thing is proof of this incredible integrated system. And that right there, that's the heart of it all. The domains of our planet are in this constant, delicate dance. A change in one, like a volcano erupting in the lithosphere, or a shift in ocean currents in the hydrosphere, can send ripples out across the entire system. So if there's one big thing to take away from all this, it's that our planet isn't a collection of separate parts. It's one single, deeply connected system. And that leaves us with a really important question to think about. If you pull on just one thread in this massive, intricate web, what happens to everything else? How might a change in just one domain impact all the others? That's definitely something worth pondering. Thanks for joining me.